we're suffering in the material world. We all know that, we're in ignorance. So how we can be God? God is never in ignorance. He's never in suffering. But these rascals, they twist everything around and they tell you all kinds of nonsense. No, we're all God. Everybody's spiritual. That means everybody's the same. No, it's not a fact. Krishna is not in the same category as the ordinary living beings. So we all know, we're not God. We're much less than that. And that's what Prabhupada told us. Any other questions or comments? Yes?
If we were originally fully satisfied being with God, why did we fall down again? I've heard that it's free will in that, but I thought that free will must be in perfect soul.
Yes.
I mean, even if we were given the free will, surely we prefer to stay. No?
It's a very good question. And it came up several times when I was travelling with Prabhupada, and he always gave the same answer. Why are people in jail?
I think it's because of the system, society system. Not
is
really
it just the system, or is it because of something that they do also?
It depends. That's a bad example, I think. There's some bad eggs, right? But
well, okay, there are some bad eggs. Why are they bad eggs? That's the question. Yeah, everybody's theoretically we're born, in a free society, but why do some people end up in jail? It's not that everybody that's in jail is there because, the system decided to just toss them all in. There may be some injustice. I mean, in the material realm,
I would say
there is some imperfections. That's accepted. But still, the majority of people that are in jail are there because they've transgressed, the laws. They've transgressed the rights of other living beings. Yeah? If somebody goes and burgles your home whilst you're here tonight, if you go home tonight and you find somebody's ransacked your house and stolen all your money, what would you want them to do? You would want the authorities to find the person and arrest them and put them in jail.
I wouldn't. I just want my stuff back.
All right, anyway, you may be very merciful. But, the fact is that, people do things from their own choice. Yeah. They violate, the living space or the rights of other living beings. And so there has to be some system in order to, regulate that, to save innocent people from being afflicted by people, who want to impose themselves on those persons. So that's a choice that people make. Yeah? If a person chooses to be a criminal, what can you do with them? You have to put them somewhere, The government generally, all right, this person can't live with the regular citizenry because he's violating their rights all the time. So what to do with him? So they put him in a place, where he's restricted in his movement, so he can't violate other people. Now that's his choice. He did the things that put him in there. Now he should be rectified. So this prison system should be some restriction as a punishment for what's already done, so that the person learns this is not good, I should give up that activity. And secondly, he should be reformed, so that when he comes out, he doesn't re-offend. But it's his choice. So in the same way, Prabhupada explains that, Krishna is eternal. All the living beings are his eternal parts and parcels. Yeah, they're all eternally connected to him. But some of us, we choose not to behave. We're all in the spiritual world originally, and we can stay there if we want. But if you're forced to stay there, of course, that's not love. Yeah. The principle in spiritual life is always that there's this loving exchange between Krishna and the living beings. That's the ecstasy, that's the ananda. Yeah, when there's this voluntary giving of oneself to the beloved, and then getting the reciprocation from the beloved back. That increases the ecstasy, and it goes on eternally and unlimitedly. So we're all enjoying that. So why would we give that up? Because we have a minute independence.
But that's imperfect then.
Huh?
But that means that it's imperfect.
No, that means it's more perfect. Because if you didn't have the choice, how is that perfect? That means you would be forced to love Krishna. That's not love. But because you have a choice, I can love Krishna or I can turn away from Krishna, that's more perfect. He gives you that choice. He doesn't force you. He doesn't twist your arm around your back. Love me, love me, love me. Right? No. If you're attracted, you can love Krishna. And if you don't want to love Krishna, if you think, why is Krishna the center of all attraction? Why is he getting all the attention? I want that. That's the first, what they call the first sin, if you like. That's the first mistake that we make. We get a desire, I want to be Krishna. Why should he have everything? Let me be the center of attention. Then Krishna says, all right, well, if you want to think like that, obviously you can't stay in the harmonious atmosphere of the spiritual world because everything's centered around loving Krishna. So he creates these material realms so we can all come, and he gives us all the facility that we need to enact our illusions of being God. Yeah. Now I'm the center of attention, I can enjoy, I can control, I can own, you know, so many different things. And that's actually what we're all doing. We're all running, you know, from one place to another, from one body to another, from one species to another, one planet to another, and we're all doing the same business. I want to be the center of attention. I want to enjoy. I want to control this. I want to own that. You know, this is our disease. That's the original disease. Now, when we give that up, so Krishna, out of his mercy, he creates systems for reformation. We're all locked up in the material world. We can't get out. Yeah. Just as the prisoners in the prison house. But Krishna doesn't want us to be in the material world. He wants us to be with him, enjoying in the spiritual world, in a loving relationship. So he gives different means by which we can reform ourselves. Therefore you get the Shastra, Bhagavad Gita. He speaks the whole science of spiritual life to his devotee Arjuna. And he sends, either he comes himself or he sends his representatives. And they canvass. Why are you rotting in the material world? This is not your real home. This is not your real business, economic development. Your real business is to reconnect with the Supreme. You're actually an eternal part and parcel of the Supreme. You're not this body which is just a false show of ego, but you're actually a pure spirit soul within. So they try to revive our original spiritual consciousness and bring us back to that platform of real love, in eternal love with Krishna in the spiritual world. So those are all arrangements that Krishna makes. So it's a perfect system because he gives us that bit of independence, but at the same time he keeps up the connection. We may reject him, but he doesn't reject us. So when we come to the material world, Krishna comes with us. Each and every living being, Krishna expands himself into the heart of every living being, and he travels with us wherever we go. And he's always looking for that opportunity to remind us, now, turn to me. This is not where happiness is. Turn to me, I'll show you what real happiness is. So it's a nice system. But we come here because we have that choice, that's all.
Were we originally in pure love of Krishna at the time that we left?
Yes.
But we decided to leave still?
Yes. Because unless you have that choice, as I said, we're not robots. You know, love, the principle of love means it's voluntary. That's the whole idea of love. It's a voluntary giving of oneself to the beloved. If it's not voluntary, it's not love. All right.
Thanks.
All right, I think we have to finish here. We have a few copies of a Transcendental Diary. If you'd like to find out more about Prabhupada's life, see how he was living on a daily basis, all the different aspects of Krishna consciousness, what was happening with Prabhupada himself personally, what was happening around the world in the development of the ISKCON movement. It's all documented here. We have a few copies. As I said, there's 5 volumes so far, and you're quite welcome to purchase any of those. Also, we have Prabhupada's books. This is a book about Prabhupada, this is a book by Prabhupada, his commentaries, Bhagavad Gita, and several other books there. So please take advantage. That way, Prabhupada knew, you can't always get the association of the devotee 24 hours a day, but if you have the books with you, then you're always associating with Krishna. So that's a very valuable gift. Alright, we'll finish that. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Yeah, prasadam.